Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Sunday morning to you all. Hope you guys are having a great start to your Sunday. A great weekend out there so far, as we're already beginning to wrap it up, about to head into another work week, unfortunately. But it's the way it rolls here. We're going to give you an update on what's going to happen for your Sunday, try to figure it out. Not a very active day. Today will kind of be the beginning stages, or not really even the first day, just the beginning stages of an active pattern across a chunk of the country that could see very heavy rain, potentially flooding rains as we get throughout the next 7 days. I talked about that in last evening's video, so definitely check that out if you're concerned or just want to know. Certainly, if there's going to be a state that's going to be the epicenter of this, it's probably going to be Tennessee, maybe the northern Arkansas area. And then from north to south, those areas could definitely see a lot of heavy rain too. So check that out. I'll give you some revised information on that. Even in this video, I'll talk about the blend of all models, see how much rain we're expecting from that model here towards the end of the video. And then also at the end of the video, we're going to go over some brief information that's going to be kind of the teaser to the video tonight, talking about what I've been seeing overnight as far as this pattern change that we're all highly anticipating sometime in December, but we don't know when it's going to happen. That could hopefully flip us to a more active wintry pattern just in time for the holidays. So stay tuned towards the end for that. I'll briefly talk on that, but stay tuned tonight. The big video will be tonight on that. Regardless if the models keep flip-flopping, I'm going to try to get you guys the most detailed information I can, and hopefully this week going forward, we can get some concrete confidence on what's going to happen, because, man, it has been just a 2 to 3 to 4 day period of just flip-flopping back and forth, so stay tuned for that. If you guys have not subscribed, always consider hitting that subscribe button. Consider liking the video. It helps these videos get out there. And if you guys got anything that I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below so I can pray over it and so others can do so also. And I promise you, it's a family atmosphere with this channel. And I promise you, people will pray over your prayer requests. So let's get rolling here. Man, I was struggling this morning making this video. I tell you guys, I started it over about 15 to 20 times. High energy. I just couldn't form, there we go, I couldn't form words in my mouth for whatever reason. But anyways, there's a lot of fog out there this morning in the southeast, and normally when you're just south of a frontal boundary, you got a lot of moisture around, a lot of fog. A lot of times you got a lot of rain, but that's not really the case this morning. But clashing of air masses, and just south of that clashing, you normally get a lot of fog, and that is the case this morning. And that is what these dark gray areas are, these dense fog advisories. Things like that. And then these greens, kind of a weird advisor I've never even seen, but it's basically, if you were to click on this, the Nashville, Huntsville area, it's basically discussing the pattern going over the next 7 days and how there's going to be prolonged periods of heavy rain and the possibility of flooding. So we need to watch out for that. Everywhere else that, I discussed, the central and eastern U.S., pretty quiet weather. Going forward, let's talk about the southeast. Let's jump right into this. Today, really the only area you watch is moving into eastern Oklahoma, and we'll get a little bit closer at that region here in a second. And then northern Arkansas, a round of heavy rain can move through. This is kind of just the appetizer of what's going to come for these regions. This is not going to dump a lot of heavy rain or a lot of rain in general for anybody. This will continue to move through northern Mississippi, maybe northern Alabama throughout the evening hours, and just some showery weather. Not a whole lot going on at all. And then we'll go to the northeast. Notice we're flipping through these regions fast. There's not a whole lot to talk about today specifically. The northeast, there's some snow flurries, snow showers around, firing off Lake Ontario. This will probably diminish throughout the day. And then we'll get into the afternoon, evening hours, and maybe some snow showers try to ramp up for northern Vermont and New Hampshire. These might kind of ooze into areas of Maine, western Maine a little bit later this overnight tonight. But other than that, not a whole lot going on. South central U.S., those showers I just talked about, they will move out of Oklahoma into Arkansas throughout the morning hours. Maybe if you're in Memphis this afternoon, maybe some showers will try to move into the area. And if we were to keep this going all the way into about sunrise tomorrow, you can see the beginning stages of the rain starting to develop in Arkansas, basically the Mississippi Valley right into here. I've been hearing a lot of people say out in this region the Mississippi River is very dry. This is going to help that, but of course we don't want all the rain super fast because that causes what we call flash flooding. So let's hope it doesn't all fall at one time, but it really doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's all going to fall at a prolonged period of time. So let's hope that's the case. But I think there's going to be periods in the next 7 days that certain areas could see a lot of rain very quickly. And then the north central U.S., what are we seeing up here? I think an area of snow will move into areas of northern Minnesota. If you're in International Falls, certainly some snow today, but not a lot. But some snow will be flying around. Then this little clipper kind of type energy will kind of fly into southeast Canada as it runs out of U.S. real estate here. And then outside of that, not a whole lot going on. Maybe Minneapolis points south, wakes up to maybe a wintry mix or some snow flying around, but this will be a very small piece of energy right here. Temperatures today, very chilly in the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, Northern Plains. You're thawing out in the Dakotas a little bit, even though the 30s and 40s is still very cold for a lot of areas. But that's much better compared to what you saw the last 2 days. The Northeast, very chilly. I mean, just 30s in Boston, probably southern New England. Certain areas, and especially in these higher hills and elevations, will struggle to get above the freezing mark. And pretty chilly all the way down to the Piedmont, North Carolina, with 50s for highs. And then there's a little bit of a gradient right here where you'll be in the 60s and 70s for areas of the deep south of Florida, Louisiana. But if you go into northern sections of Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and then Arkansas, it's quite chilly into the 40s points north. So chilly day for Tennessee, Arkansas points north for sure. And then areas of Oklahoma will be pretty chilly too also. So the National Blend of All models, talking about the rain over the next 7 days. Look at this little area and kind of this brown shaded. That's almost 6 inches of rain is possible from the Blend of All models, which I think is a great tool to use because it literally blends all the models together, and it normally is very close to what the National Weather Service is showing. But a lot of rain expected. And there's a big gradient right here where there's hardly nothing, and then there's a lot. For example, if you're in Birmingham, you might struggle to get a half inch to an inch of rain, but if you're in Huntsville, you might get a few inches of rain. I really think central northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, even southern sections, very far southern sections of Indiana and Illinois could certainly see several inches of rain. And then I think Kentucky and Tennessee, especially Tennessee and even West Virginia, but I think Kentucky and Tennessee will be the epicenter of the heaviest rain. Nashville and Memphis will be 2 bigger cities to watch for sure for maybe close to a half a foot of rain. So this could get ugly, but let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope it's just kind of spread out over just kind of rounds of rain, which it kind of looks like it is. So going forward here, and we'll get a little bit detailed about that tonight. Really, if we're watching a specific storm system or a pattern, one thing we watch is the ridge. There's a ridge building up here. You got intense Greenland blocking up here, negative NAO. And then there's going to be a little system from the Pacific that gets undercut under this ridge. Very, very cool little thing, and it's going to be interesting to watch. You see this little blue section surrounded all by all these higher heights right here, if you will. And these are lower heights. All these higher heights is literally just a ridge. And you got this piece of energy that literally gets trapped in this ridge, and it flies through the Ohio Valley, getting into Friday, and then into the Northeast, into the overnight hours of Friday and a Saturday. Then it finally finds some troughing and some energy to merge with. This little system could bring some tricky weather for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. It really could. It's something we'll watch as we get later into the week. And what can it do? What will it do? Going forward after that, ridging settles in again, and then we'll watch another system kind of move through. But is this a big cold front? Maybe in about 9 or 10 days as we're getting into not this week, but next week. It's pretty far out, guys, but we'll watch. Going forward, you look at the GFS as far as this system right here, and here it comes. Look at all these rounds of heavy rain down here in the south. There'll be a gradient. And here comes that little cutoff low, swings through, brings a lot of rain for areas of the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic. And then it kind of gets shunted southeast a little bit, tries to strengthen as it gets off the coast of southern New England. And then what does it do? It kind of spins around, gets a little trapped right here, and just delivers actually a lot of heavy rain. And then I would say the Euro and the GFS agree with some kind of cold shot of air towards the December 12th, 13th, 11th time frame. But how fleeting is it? Is it very quick? And then around that base here, the trough, it delivers a big system. But we're still trying to figure this out. But there's some agreement starting to get into the mid to long range. Another look at that little system that is going to get undercut under the ridge. And we are in 06Z. I hate when that happens. Going forward here it is. It's coming up in your screen right now. Here it is coming. It delivers a lot of snow, maybe just north of Buffalo, Michigan. I can tell you the European has a much colder run with this cutoff low. It shunts the a low pressure just off the coast of the Delmarva area. So that means there's going to be more cold air to the north. And this brings a pretty hefty snow event for New York State, areas of Pennsylvania. Brings snow all the way down to Maryland as we're getting into overnight Friday into Saturday. And then what does it do after that? It heads southeast. Very, very odd setup. It really is. So going forward here, we'll talk about other things tonight, I promise you guys. The ensemble run for snow, the snow mean, combines a bunch of members together to create a mean through the next 10 days. It's not very favorable for the Southeast, and we didn't expect it to be. I always thought that the Southeast would need to be watched maybe literally in the last couple weeks of December, and that's only if we can get some big snows in the Northeast. So I know a lot of people get bummed out when the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast always get hit, and us in the Southeast just whiff, but really it all works in tandem. It all works together. We need the Northeast, the Ohio Valley, to really score here, and it'll set the tone for us in the Southeast. Snowpack amplifies cold, all that good stuff. But through the next 10 days, maybe some inland storms, but there's even a signal into Boston, New York City. But one thing to watch is as we get into the next 15 days, look how that snow mean begins to kind of drop south, even getting into Tennessee, even into the deep south, but obviously not a very strong signal. Now you look at the European, it's a little bit colder. Through the next 10 days with that one system we just talked about, it's much snowier, and there's a pretty strong European ensemble mean here for Pennsylvania. Basically points northeast, points north. Great Lakes region in the Ohio Valley, the northern sections of the Ohio Valley, certainly a strong signal. But then if we go all the way out to the next 10 days, you're starting to get a signal oozing to the mountains. I tell you what, the Southern Alps normally are having some good snow events by now. And the ski country, I don't think y'all probably are going to be doing so good over the next week, but hopefully we can get a big system for you folks. But we're watching this. We'll get detailed tonight. Stay tuned for that. It'll probably be a later video. The last kids choir is tonight at my church here, so hopefully that's going to go good. The kids did awesome last night. There's been multiple shows this weekend. Very busy weekend. But anyways, that's all I got, guys. Stay tuned for tonight. Very interesting video. It'll probably be long, but we'll try to figure this out for you guys. God bless all y'all. Have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you soon.